Hi everyone, I am back with this new video. In this video here, I am about to show you the difference between the sum function, the sumif, and the sumifs. Alright, let's get started. Now the sum function is pretty simple. You take the selected numbers and you calculate the totals, and as a result you get the total sum. And I'm going to do this by hitting the equal sign, type sum. Pretty simple, straightforward. Control Shift down arrow, then hold Shift, scroll wheel button on the mouse button, close parenthesis, and hit enter. Bam! This is the number. This is the result that you will get. At least over $2 million, right? Now, with this being seen, this is basically simple. It's a simple function to use to calculate all of the totals that you see in this cell here, in the selected cell. All of these numbers I took, I added them up, and boom, it ended up being the total, right? Control home to go back on top. Now I'm gonna go to the sumif function because it's going to be a little different. Now the sumif, basically what I'm going to do here is, using this function, you can select a group of data, and whichever data that you're looking to calculate based on the names, items, quantities, so and so forth, then it basically returns the sum of what you're specifically looking for. For an example, I see the names of Sean, Karen, Bill, Larry, Jessica, and so on and so forth. And if I want to calculate the total sum of how much each of these managers make, then that's what the sumif can return. It can return that. Now for an example, I'm going to type Sean. That's the name I'm going to type. Hit enter. Now I'm going to click here and I'm going to type equal sum if tab to bring it in. And now I am going to select what I'm going to select, the range. And the range is basically the criteria range, and the criteria range is pretty much you select a whole group of these selected group data here. You select a whole group of data, and it's supposed to pretty much select what you're looking for within that data. That's how I'm gonna put it. Control Shift down arrow all the way down, Shift, scroll mouse wheel, back up, and now I'm gonna hit comma for the next argument. And what's the next argument? Is the criteria. My criteria is Sean. I want to know how much money did Sean make in total out of all of these names, comma, and to find out how much Sean has made in total, I have to select K4 and then Control Shift down arrow all the way down, and that's K4 through K323. Shift, scroll mouse wheel on the mouse, close parenthesis, and hit enter. Sean has made over $161,000, $161,528. And now I'm going to do the next one with the next name. I want to look for, let me see, let's just say I want to do Bill. I want to know how much did Bill make in total out of all of these names that I've seen. So now to calculate how much Bill has made in total, oh, and to say one thing, I failed to mention this, the sumif only has one condition. It doesn't have additional conditions. And what I mean by conditions is you can select as many arguments as you want, but the sumifs has over 250 conditions that you can calculate. So basically, if I select a range criteria, a criteria, and a sum range, then pretty much that's what I will have to be looking for to get a result for my answer. But a sumifs is different. You basically do the same thing, except if you're trying to add additional group of data to find another calculation of another set of data, then that's what the condition is. So you could basically calculate more than one result. That's basically what I'm saying. Now to go further, range, which is the criteria range, Control Shift down arrow, scroll mouse wheel back up, and comma. My criteria is Bill. I want to know how much Bill has made in total out of all of these names you've seen. And now I'm going to go here K4 through K323. Control Shift down, Shift mouse wheel, close parenthesis, and hit enter. Bill has made $140,573 in total. Now we're going to go to the Sumifs tab, and we're going to see the same thing. I'm basically going to use the same name, and the Sumifs is the same as the Sumif, except that you can include more than one condition. And I might just talk about that in another video, but that's just what I wanted to point out. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm going to use the same name, Sean. Matter of fact, how about we don't use Sean? Let's use a different name just to make it a little bit more interesting. I want to use David. Yeah, let's type David. Enter. I want to know how much money David has made out of all of the employees that you see, or out of all the managers you see. So we're going to choose Sumifs, tab key to bring it in. Now my SumRange is the selected data that has all of the numbers that I'm going to use to calculate. So the Sumif, if you notice, the SumRange was something that you have to choose at the end of the argument. But being that this is a Sumifs, I could choose the selected range of sums, which is the total sales selected data. So I click here, K4, Control Shift down arrow, K4 through K323, Shift scroll wheel on the mouse, comma, and again the criteria range is what? The name range. That's my criteria range. So within that name range, I'm looking for David, because David is on the name list now. Okay, so let's go Control Shift down arrow, Shift scroll mouse wheel to go up, comma, and who I'm looking for in the criteria? David, because he's in the criteria range. So whoever I'm looking for in the criteria range is the name that I have to select for the criteria. And notice if I do this, you see this here, criteria range 2, criteria 2. I could do more than one condition if I have to. And by the way, this goes up to 250 conditions, just to let you know. But backspace again, I'm selecting David, close parenthesis, hit enter. In total, David has made $154,051. Now I'm gonna select one more name, and let me just select Maria. Let me select Maria. Let me look for Maria to see how much money she's made in total out of all of the managers. So equal Sumifs, tab key to bring it in. The sum range is going to be the total sales range. Control Shift down, Shift mouse wheel, comma, criteria range, which is the name range. Control Shift down arrow, Shift mouse wheel, comma, and being that Maria is in the criteria range data, I'm going to select her name, and she's the one I'm actually looking for. Close parenthesis, shift by holding the shift button and the 0 button on the keyboard, and then hit enter. As a result, Maria has made $124,665. Now there's one trick I want to show you that I didn't get to show you in the previous tab. I'm going to select one more name. I'm going to do Karen. Enter. As a matter of fact, no. There's one thing I want to show you. I want to take you to the data tab, the data ribbon tab, and I want to go to data validation. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go allow any list, and I am going to select the list of names. And from here, click OK. And I'm just going to select Larry. I could have selected any other name. Now I am going to use the same function, Sumif is tab, SumRange, the total range, Control Shift down, comma, CriteriaRange, which is the name group, Control Shift down arrow, Shift scroll wheel, comma, and let's just say I'm looking for Larry. I want to know how much money has Larry made in total out of all of the managers you see on the name list. Hit enter. Larry has made $166,688. Now, here's the interesting part. I can go click here on 04, and you see the list of names here. Now watch when I select these other names. One of the other names is going to change the result at the bottom. See? Look at that. Lewis has made $100,625. Let me select another name, Leslie. $116,349. Look at that. That's interesting, right? It's amazing what the data validation button can do for you. This is a very, very handy feature, so I recommend practicing this. Let's try Sean again. $107,574. See? It's helped. And it's helped a lot. It has helped me a whole lot. And let's make one more selection. Dominique, $127,021. Oh man, that's amazing. Let me do this one more time. I think I just said it, but let's do Alex, $153,265. That is absolutely amazing. That is the best thing I've seen so far all day. That tool is really handy. And this can work with any function that you use pretty much. The SumIf, the sum function, COUNTIF, COUNTIFS, AverageIf, and etc. But this is definitely the best that I've seen so far. Very, very, very good. Very handy tool, very handy feature. Once again, data validation. I recommend using it if you want to work faster this way. Home tab ribbon, and pretty much that will be all. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed it the same way I enjoyed making this content. Alright, stay tuned, and you'll see my next videos. Peace.